Hope my screen is visible. And so what we'll do today. So I mean, even before getting into the today's demo, let me just give a quick intro about myself. I'm Naveen Koninya. I have more than decade and a half year experience in data engineering, data analytics world. So I'm a certified data engineer as well as cloud architect on Google Cloud Platform. And I teach data engineering courses out of my passion. And today we're gonna see how data engineering on GCP can be done and what will be the course objectives, right? And what content do we go through as part of this class or this course, right? What teaching methodology we will pick up, and what exactly cloud computing is, and what's Google Cloud Platform, and what's data engineering altogether, and what's the importance of it. We'll go through a quick use case or maybe I would say demo of running a uh, pipeline on GCP using a product called Data Fusion. So there's like a couple of products, or maybe 3 or 4 products on GCP, which does the data engineering work to the scale. So we'll use one for the demo, and we'll wait for the question. We'll do a quick recap, and then we'll take up questions. I hope it's good for everyone.
Yes.
All right. So, all right. Thanks, Chaitanya. So, what exactly we'll do through this course, right? So, typically, we wanted to understand the data engineering fundamentals, right? So again, what we're trying to do is like data engineering course on GCP. So the first objective, what we'll try to get is understand data engineering fundamentals, right? And we'll try to get ourselves familiarized with Google Cloud Platform. We'll try to get into console and then understand the services related to data engineering, what exactly the core components of GCP related to cloud storage, processing, analytics, and so on. We'll also look at data storage solutions, data processing and transformations, using different products and services available on GCP, like data proc, data flow, right, data fusion. When you go to the storage thing, Google Cloud Storage, Bigtable, right, and so on, right, and then again we'll do a very interesting thing on data warehousing. So using BigQuery, data analytics and visualization and machine learning out of this thing. Right, again, what at the end of the course, right? I mean, you should be able to people who get enrolled for this course, they should be able to you know leverage the skills what they've learned and explore it further on it, right? So on a 40-day course period, it's not expected that you'll become an expert, I would say, right? But this course lays a very good foundation for you to kickstart your data engineering journey on Google Cloud Platform. So whatever the product and service we pick up as part of this course will give a very strong foundation from basic to intermediate, even from and some courses, some part of the course, even from intermediate to advanced, where uh, you can enhance your skills from there, right? So we'll see what best practices, industry standards, and all those things as part of the course, right? So um, let me just go to the content. So again, who should get enrolled for this course, right? Anybody who is having an interest on becoming a data engineer, or who already have some kind of knowledge onto the IT world, and wanted to shift their career, or even a college students, or anybody who has got graduated recently, right, and wanted to start their journey on the data engineering, right? So that's the targeted audience, who wanted to get themselves enrolled for this course. Now, if you ask me if there are any prerequisites for this course, I would say slightly yes. So to be faster and what do you call to get the content understand easily and faster, so there's two prerequisites I would call it as. One, you should have basics of SQL, and other one, I would say basics of Python. I would say and or basics of Python, because when we do a couple of courses using data proc or data flow, see again, Python here in the sense Python, Apache Beam or Apache PySpark, which we'll cover a bit as part of the course curriculum. Now this we will teach the course in such a way that as a data engineer your role is to read some files. Let's say you wanted to write some transformations and write it to a target system. Now, if I just try to put the data engineer role in a nutshell, right? So the teaching course or the methodology will cover how do you do that using PySpark or Python or Apache Beam. So we will cover Python. If people who are not familiar with Python, they'll have a good understanding. When we run through the code, so how do you read a file? How do you do some transformations? How do you do some filters? How do you do some joins using Python or aggregations, right? And all these things as part of the case studies, and also some hands-on, and also as an assignments. Now, what we will not teach from Python perspective or from SQL perspective, we will not spend complete boot camp kind of a thing, right? What exactly a pandas library is, for example. I'm talking about Python, right? So what exactly a union is in SQL. So not like a 15-day or 20-day course on SQL or 15 to 20 days course on Python. Will not do that. So the basic prerequisite expected before taking up enrolling for this course is we have basics of SQL and or basics of Python to fast track things, right? So right. So what we will do as part of this course curriculum. So we'll start up with a tour on GCP. So we'll try to understand. We'll navigate to the Google Cloud Console. Right. We'll try to access the Google Cloud platform using different options, whether Google Cloud Shell or console or programmatically, how you could do it, whether G-Cloud SDKs and all. And we'll try to uh, look at the basic options like a building blocks on GCP, whether it is on the computing part or the networking part or the storage part, right? And we will try to understand some pricing and billing thing and how do you set up your account, right? So as part of the course, right? So you need some kind of hands-on to do it, right? So we'll try to explore how you could create a free account and then leverage the what you call free tier capabilities which is provided by Google Cloud. So we'll see that in the first couple of classes, like maybe 2 to 3 classes, and then we'll start uh, entering into a module where what exactly data engineer is and what are the challenges, and we'll touch base on one critical product, one important product, BigQuery. That's one of the foundational or one of the masterpiece products by Google Cloud, which plays a very pivotal role in data analytics area. It's so whether you talk in terms of data lake house, data warehouse, data analytics. So this BigQuery is a very critical product. So we'll do this BigQuery thing there. So we'll try to understand what data engineering is. We'll try to build a data lake, data warehouse. During this, we'll touch base on a lot of different products on BigQuery. We'll see data farm. We'll see how do you schedule some BigQuery jobs. How do you write some BigQuery store procedures, right? And how do you use BigQuery data transfer service to bring data from different sources, software as service products, right? So we'll explore information schema. We'll see some nested data there. We'll see some use cases. We'll try to run some external sources. We'll try to access that through BigQuery and all those things. We'll do good decent sessions on BigQuery in the first 4 modules. So even the fourth module, it's on the BigQuery. So then the fifth one, it's more on the Google Cloud Data Proc. So we'll try to run PySpark jobs. So we'll try to create some data proc clusters. So what exactly data proc is, in a nutshell, it's Hadoop on Google Cloud. So I'd say, what is data proc? BigQuery is like a SQL kind of a system, warehousing system where you could interact with like tables and data which gets stored there, and you could play around with the SQL. So this data proc has PySpark uh, on it. It's a Hadoop jobs which run on Google Cloud Platform product, it's Dataproc. And so we'll have like five, 6 sessions on Dataproc. We'll try to write code through notebooks, Jupyter notebooks, right? And then we'll try to submit a jobs. We'll try to run serverless jobs too on Dataproc. And then we'll get into data flow. Data flow is one another important module, to do the data engineering and data processing work on Google Cloud Platform, right? And then we'll touch base on data fusion. So these three components, module 5, module 6, module 7, they play a very pivotal role in doing the data engineering work on the Google Cloud Platform. So today we'll touch base on one product, data fusion, real quick. Will not be a very deep dive, but we'll just run a pipeline, see how data flows from source system to target system, right? And we'll also talk about Cloud Composer there, right? How do you typical orchestrator, let's say you have a lot of different services, different, what do you call, you have a tasks where you wanted to run a data proc job, and then later you wanted to run a BigQuery job, and you wanted to have a dependency set on them, and then execute as a workflow through Cloud Composer. We'll do that too. That's like an orchestrator. You can call it as a supervisor, right? So somebody who is trying to, just a second. So somebody who is trying to monitor your job, right? So I would say Cloud Composer is that guy. So let's say you have a lot of different tasks which you're doing it, but you need somebody who directs you, saying, yeah, hey boss, you do this first and then you do this next. I know this is what the expectations is. So Composer is some kind of a supervisor or an orchestrator which gets your job done, right? So, and then we'll go through real-time streaming data using PubSub, again data flow, right? So we'll try to understand those things in detail. We'll touch base on BigQuery advanced uh, things, and we'll also see Dataplex there. It's an intelligent data fabric, tool which we'll use it for what metadata catalog, and also data quality management, and also creating a data mesh. We'll see Dataplex. I think it's not mentioned here in this particular modules, but yeah, we'll see Dataplex there during the module 11th and 12th, along with the BigQuery, big table things there. And then last 4 5 modules will touch base on uh, machine learning and artificial intelligence on Google Cloud Platform. We'll see what AI, and we'll also see some pre-trained ML APIs. How do you use them? Let's say you have a uh, text, right? So you say, there is a demo happening uh, on 21st September, on related to Google Cloud Platform, right? So it's like a sample text I got, and I would like to do some sentiment analysis, or you wanted to understand some content out of it. So I have a pre-trained ML API, NLP API, where I could use it to extract the tokens out of it and try to get the maybe some do some sentiment analysis like entity extraction, whatever, right? So we'll do some hands-on there, or we'll try to explore the AI part on GCP, right? So this is a high-level course overview what we'll cover for 40 days, right? Along with hands-on, like 80% of the classes will be hands-on. So we'll run through the theory part real quick, and we'll try to do the hands-on back and forth, right? And followed by assignments so that you guys can practice at home. And once at the end of the session, like 40 classes, right, or maybe 35, 40, it goes up to 38 to 45, plus or minus like 10%. So at the end of the course, we're going to look at how do you get yourself prepared for data engineering certification on GCP, right? If there is any labs, or if there is any guides where it you can enhance your skills more, we'll go through that session as well. Any questions, guys, before uh, I talk on uh, you know what's cloud computing, or intro on this thing? One quick question, please. I appreciate if you guys can drop your email ID in the chat. Chaitanya, Kokila, any questions? Are you guys okay? Not okay? Any,
Yeah, okay, for now.
Yeah, okay.
okay, what exactly is your background? So, um, I mean, do you guys have some IT experience, or what's the expectations of you guys from this course?
No, I'm just actually trying to get into cloud data engineering profile. So I usually have like 2 years of experience working on a data, I'm sorry, front end technologies.
Mm-hmm,
So I heard a lot of things about the GCP cloud or GCP data engineering positions
mm-hmm,
having more demand nowadays.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just trying to change or get into this cloud computing or cloud stuff.
Okay, nice to hear that.
Yeah.
So I think then you're on a perfect track, to get yourself,
Yeah, yeah.
think, yeah, onto
That's why
GCP.
I'm just trying to find some good mentors so that I could get more knowledge. And also, you guys do like helping over this resume building or adding a project to the resume just to show some experience, like we worked on some projects.
I think you can reach out to Visualpath admin team. I think they should
Okay,
have some service where you could add the a project as part of your resume, or as part of resume building activities. But
okay,
me,
okay,
usually, I deliver the content and try to help you out guys with if you got any kind of questions on the content or anything, you practice it. So I'll be able to help you out there on it.
okay, sure, sure, understood. Okay, thank you.
Cool, Club. How about you? What's your expectations on the course?
Yeah, I have an IT experience of 1 year, but it's long back. But I'm planning to join after a long break.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel now this is booming, so I just thought of starting with this, and I have to learn a lot.
Good. So how comfortable are you guys with SQL? So do you guys have some basics of SQL knowledge? Right. When we go through this content, so the basics of SQL is like, or basics of Python is expected. So how comfortable are you guys with these two?
Yeah, I have like pretty like decent experience, like understanding of SQL and Python.
Good. How about you, Kokila?
Yeah, I just know the basics, but not very well because it's
No,
a
no,
long gap
basics are
now.
fine. No,
Yeah.
that's okay. I mean, we will see. I mean, the reason I ask if you guys are aware of basics of SQL is, let's say we run some SQL code. So, I mean, what's join happening there? What's filters happening there, right? So, what are we trying to do? If you're able to get it, I think that is easier, right? So, when we talk about selecting a column, writing a select star from a table, right? So that's a basic thing expected. If you could understand it, I think that's what it is really required. You don't need to be a pro or an expert on even SQL or Python. So if you have a basic understanding, that's really great to kickstart your journey, and let's say real starting point, right? So what we'll do today, we'll run through a couple of what we'll just talk about what cloud computing is. What we'll just do an intro to GCP, and then we'll just do one demo on data fusion. We'll just try to run some basic pipeline. So what exactly this cloud computing is, it refers to the delivery of computing services like server storage, databases, networking, software analytics, and so on over the internet, right? So that's like a bookish definition. So it's like an on-demand self-service one. So you can just go subscribe or to the when any cloud provider, right? So whether it is Google Cloud Platform, AWS, or Azure, you can log in and you can create any services whatever you want, and you just pay for what you use. So rather than owning up the complete infrastructure, you just pay it, you just use it, and you just kill it. So if I can try to get a good analogy of it, right? So let's say you are everybody drinks milk, right? So what do? Let's say you subscribe to the what do you call milk packets, like in a half-liter packet or 1 liter packet, so that milk vendor, he tries to provides the what you call milk packets at your door, right? So delivery, right? So we subscribe to the service, and then we just pay for how many packets we use. But if you look at how do we get the milk, where do we get the milk from, right? So either a buffalo or cow. We are not buying a cow or buffalo, right, to get the milk. So we're just subscribing to the service and getting out of it. Even for that case, electricity, right? So you just pay for how much electricity you use. You don't own it, what do you call a generation center or distribution center, power generation or power distribution center to utilize the electricity, right? So you're just paying as a service. Typically cloud computing is also just the same, right? So whatever the services you want to use, whether it is storage or compute or anything, you just use it and you just pay for it and you just leave it. Once you're not using it, you're not getting cost. So that's the beauty of cloud computing. So it is uh, it has a rapid elastic nature, right? So it has a lot of deployment modules. So we call it as public cloud, private cloud, right, and hybrid cloud. So private cloud is something, it's with respect to your organization. That public cloud is something which we you know which we are talking about, whether it is AWS, Azure, or GCP kind of a thing. A lot of different service models as well, like infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, and all these things, right? So now uh, this cloud computing platform plays a very foundational role, for emerging technologies like AI, machine learning, data analytics, and all these things. So this infrastructure platform plays a very very crucial thing, so that people, whether you wanted to build some front end web app or a mobile app or data analytics use case or machine learning or generative AI, whatever, right? So you need a foundational infrastructure, solid one, which can scale up, which is elastic, and all these things. So you're gonna pick up the cloud computing uh, option out there, right? So when you talk about Google Cloud Platform a bit, right? So you have a lot of different compute services on Google Cloud Platform, right? Like as compute engine, Kubernetes engine, app engine, which will help you, to play around with the computing part of it. With a lot of different storage options as cloud storage, cloud SQL, and big table and all these things, right? So and you can get the data analytics task done on Google Cloud Platform, right? And you have identity and security, right? So let's say you wanted to control who can do what and on what resources, you can provide, use the Google Cloud Platform to you know uh, emphasize the security features, along with using the edit IAM and all. So you have serverless products where you could do your task there, whether it is a computing or analytics or anything, right? So this Google Cloud Platform with a lot of different products and services, whether it is in a computing, storage, or analytics, it will help your what do you call in use cases. It will help your daily tasks done easily, right? So that's I would say in a nutshell what exactly uh, Google Cloud Platform is, right? So let's get into the console and then see how Google Cloud Platform will look like, and we'll take a use case from there. So we just if you just type on console.cloud.google.com, it will ask for the user ID, Google account to log in. So as I already logged in, it did not ask anything for me. So I just provided the Google account and I just got into this page. So when you do this for the first time, you're gonna register yourself. You're gonna provide some credit card details so that you could use some free credits. So when you subscribe, you're gonna get some 25,000 rupees as credits, so which you could use it in 3 months time, right? So and you could use that for a lot of services on the Google Cloud Platform for practicing purpose, right? So if I just click on the navigation menu, the leftmost, it's like in a hamburger menu, right? So you could look at a lot of different products and services available on GCP, which are pinned, but there's a lot of more products which are available. You can click on view all products, right? What all different products and services are available on GCP. We'll go through most of the products which are related to data engineering and analytics in this course curriculum, right? So if I just go to uh, data fusion, is a product which will help you to build data engineering pipelines on GCP. Now there are, as I said, there are three interesting options. If you wanted to do data engineering on GCP, one, it's Cloud Data Proc, where you run a PySpark job on it, and Apache Data Flow, right? I mean, Cool Cloud Data Flow, which uses Apache Beam processing framework that's written on Python. And the third most interesting product is Data Fusion. So this product, you know, you don't need to write any code. So this is basically a UI based, what you call product, where you drag in and drop the components, and you save it. You run the pipeline so that you can directly instead of writing a code using a UI based, you can develop the data engineering pipelines, right? So what we'll just do, we'll use this product real quick and try to create a pipeline. So once you log into this particular product, you'll have a lot of different options. I'm not going in detail about these products and services, but let's quickly try to do a pipeline, right? So I'm just getting into a Wrangler tool. So this is like a tool where you wanted to visually look at the data and do some transformations on it, right? So if I just open this up, there's something called GCS. Forget about what GCS, what's buckets and all. We'll discuss in detail about these products. So you can just think this as some kind of a folder which has got data there. So at this point of time, let's keep our discussion there. Right. So you have a GCS buckets, right? It's like a folder where you have some data there. We'll just pick up a file and we'll write that file to a BigQuery table. So if I just click this bucket or a folder, I have a file something called customers.csv. What I'll just try to do, this, I'll just try to load this file up. To quickly look at how the data is there. So before I write this file from Google Cloud Storage to BigQuery. So my end goal is, I have a customers file presented in some source location, and I would like to write that file, making some basic transformations and write it to a target system with BigQuery. So that's like if I just try to put it in a simple what use case we are driving through. Right. So now I could see there's like what 980 rows with 5 columns data which is available here, but there's no header for these data, right? So if you look at it, this says name, address, this looks like a city, and then a state and the country, right? So I don't have a header declared anywhere here. So what we'll just do, we'll try to uh, create a header for this particular data, and then we'll just try to run this pipeline. So we'll just say name, this, state. So we just set up the header for this particular data, which is more meaningful now. And now let's say I have a requirement to filter out uh, records which just has California in it, right? So I can just, so I mean, so this is one such tool where you could do it using UI based rather than coding it. Now, when you wanted to do the same Excel is using a different product, data proc or data flow, you'll read this, you'll try to set up a schema programmatically, and you'll try to uh, filter out. Let's say your requirement is to select state which has got only California, right? So you'll have to write programmatically. So this is one another way of doing it. So we're just trying to demo it, right? So if value contains California, I wanted those records, right? So I have records which is only California state. And then if I look at the transformation steps, so this automatically is created for me. So what I can do, I can just run a create pipeline option here. And this builds a pipeline for me, which reads data from GCS bucket and do some transformation. Now, I mean, there's a lot of things to explain in this particular product too, right? So you have components bar where you can drag and drop each components from where you wanted to bring data, and what type of transformations you wanted to do, and where do you want to write and all. I'm not going in detail about this thing in the first session itself, so it looks, I mean, it's really difficult to take beyond that, right? So what we'll just do, we'll write this sample file which we read, transformed it to a BigQuery target table. You can take BigQuery is a product and service, is a service which is there on Google Cloud Platform for data warehouse or data lake purpose. So your end goal is to write your transformed data into a target system like BigQuery. Right? So we'll just pick up BigQuery table, and we'll just provide the dataset name. Let's say so data image. Dataset is something you can call it as a folder or a folder structure which is trying to hold your tables. I would say that's the naming. I would say in a layman terms now. It's not. We'll do more on what exactly dataset is and how does it logically separates your tables and why do you wanted to create datasets and all, right? And we'll just say customers, California customers. So where we have some filters there, California, right? I'll just hit validate just to see if there's any issues there. Right, so if you look at this Wrangler component, it is the same code which you have seen it using UI there. So it has given a recipe for us. Now, if you guys are comfortable writing these recipes without using Wrangler, you could do that too, providing steps over here. So let's try to run this pipeline, right? And see how does it behaves. Hi Srini, I think we went through the course curriculum, uh, you know, and the course objectives and all before you just join. Once this pipeline finishes, we'll touch base again on what does the course curriculum look like. How long will we'll have the course and all, and then we'll just open up the forum for questions.
Yeah, sure.
So okay, let's. I think it should not take more than a minute as we're running in a preview mode. So once you run the pipeline in preview mode, this will help you to look at how the transformations are happening, whether the connections are successfully established, and were you able to write data to a target system. So you're doing some preview thing. So the actual data transformations and actual writing to the table will happen once you deploy the pipeline and run the pipeline there. If you just look at the preview data here, so you have the data what we have loaded there. So there's no header record. Now, if you look at the Wrangler preview data, so you have the same thing, but after this you just have California state as well as the header being replaced with the body O, body 5, body 4 and all, right? So and finally the data gets written to a BigQuery table, right? So this is in short about this demo where it picks up a file from GCS bucket. GCS is a product, is a storage product based on Google Cloud platform. Bucket is something you could treat it as a folder, and then you have a file there, customers, which is in the CSV. What we are just trying to do as a data engineer, your requirement, if somebody comes to you and say, "Hey, I have a customer's data located in a source system, which is Google Cloud Storage. My end goal is to bring the customers file from Google Cloud Storage to BigQuery, right? So that I can join customers with transactions, and I could join transactions with maybe sales orders and something like that, right? So and try to build some analytics on top of it. So now as a data engineer, your role is something to do some data ingestion, to do some data. You wanted to collect some data, right? Which we have done it through this, right? We have done some data ingestion. We have done some data transformations using Wrangler. We connected to the different data storage options, your source as like data storage, your target system like BigQuery, right? We build some data pipeline, and we are looking for data quality management thing, right? So ensuring the data is accurate, if it is reliable, and if there is any issues, we found out that the header is not accurate there, so we try to correct that, and finally we're getting this data into data lake or data warehouse. So I mean, data engineering role is really really crucial, because after the data is loaded into your warehouse or your target system, lot of stakeholders like data scientists, analysts, business guys and all, they wanted to uh, explore the data and wanted to get some insights out of it. Now, why exactly data engineering is important? Because he's the this particular discipline or a data engineer. He makes this data accessible to various stakeholders by building a lot of different pipelines to bring data from different sources, right? So this part of the study is really really critical. And again, as the volume grows, as the size of the data grows, it's not so easy to integrate a lot of different systems and make some analytics out of it, right? So what data engineer does, it tries to get a lot of systems integrated and then brings the data to the target system, target warehouse system like BigQuery, where it can be used for advanced analytics, machine learning, and all those things, right? So this is a simple pipeline which does that. Any questions on this pipeline, guys? Chaitanya, Kokila, Shini, you guys able to get this?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Any questions, Srini?
Yeah, no, I don't have much questions because I'm not much background about data engineering. Basically,
Mhm.
I'm database admin background, like how it can, if I wanted to transfer from DBA to engineering role. So, is this the right path? Like, I would
No,
like to know.
definitely, definitely, Srini. So again, when we discussed a bit about the course curriculum, right? So what we let me just go there. So we will go through, as part of this course curriculum, we'll have like a 40-day course, and we'll touch
Mm-hmm.
base a lot of different products and services on GCP. We'll start with the tour on GCP there, basic exploration on the different products and services, foundational blocks I would call it as, and then we'll try to understand, how do you do data engineering using BigQuery in the module 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we'll go through data proc. That's like running a PySpark jobs on Google Cloud. We'll also see what do you call Apache Beam with Cloud Data Flow, right? So that's one another processing tool where you want to do some data engineering work there, and then we will go through Data Fusion and Cloud Composer, right? Which Data Fusion is just demonstrated a bit about how you could visually build the data engineering pipeline there, right? And then we'll also look at what you call real time streaming applications data. How do you handle real time data there? What the earlier modules will talk about how do you handle a batch data. So if you have some data which is coming in streaming, let's say there is any some sensors data which is coming in real time, or some time series data where you could handle it. So we'll look at different products and services. At final modules, we'll try to understand how you could do some ML on Google Cloud Platform. Now, all these modules will do some hands-on with a use case. Right now, let's say you have a source system like SQL Server. Now, if you have a different tables and what's the use case and how do you bring them to the BigQuery and how do you do some transformations and all. So based on each product, we'll do like 80% hands-on and 20% theory on most of our classes, and then that should be a good start for who is looking to shift their career. Now, I don't know if you heard before about the prerequisites I said for this course. So if you have basics of SQL and or basics of Python, that's really a good kickstart to shift your journey, right? I think from DB admin background, I'm pretty sure that you must have some SQL experience there. So and then the Python one, I think we should be able to get into this course and get most out of it.
Okay. Yeah, good. So, is there any basics of Python are you going to cover, or it's like out of syllabus from this course?
So, when we do the course module on
Mhm.
um, module 5, 6, and 7, we
Mhm.
will touch base Python. Again,
Okay.
the way we do Python here is not like from like basics A B C D, not that kind. But see, the
Mhm.
eventual end goal of a data engineer is you wanted to read some collect data, do some data processing, and
Mhm.
try to load the data to target system. Right? If I try to put the role of a data engineer in in a sentence, that's it, right? So
Mhm.
what we'll do as part of use cases, we'll try to see using Python how you're trying to PySpark, how do you read a particular file. So then
Mhm.
you're trying to understand how Python works there. As part of the
Okay.
code, you also try to understand how do you filter some how do you select only few columns, how do you do some joins, how do you filter
Mhm.
your data, how do you do some aggregations. So
Okay.
that way we will learn Python, but there is no dedicated class to teach only Python or PySpark or Apache Beam. But Apache Beam, we will do a very very detailed thing. Again, that's using Python itself as a programming there. So
Mhm.
out of when you finish 5, 6, and 7 modules, you should have a good understanding on Python. If you're not
Mhm.
comfortable there as well, right? So from there on, you can build on top of it. So that's how the course is designed. But if you're asking me basics of Python, you will not do, to be honest, right?
Okay.
So not like a B C D kind of thing. Will not do that.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions, guys?
I think everyone is good.
Right. So yep. I appreciate if you guys can drop your email ID and your contact number in the chat so that admin team can reach out to you on this. Are we good? No questions? Can I say close the session?
Yeah.
Right. Thanks, guys. Happy weekend. Bye bye.